Okay, so welcome back. In the last video, this is where we stopped. We wrote this query to retrieve all records from the table where the time in queue is more than 500 minutes. Where the time in queue is more than 500 minutes. So let's see if we did the right thing here. So yeah, so this is the query. Select all from visit table. So we come down a step and we say where time in queue. Where do we find time in queue? It is on the visit table. So let me close this one so that I can get the visit table column here. I just want to lift it. So we have time in queue here. Bring time in queue. So where time in queue is equal to or greater than greater than 500. So with this, it means that we are done. Let's see. Okay, so let's execute this query and then see how it goes. Okay, so here we have, you can see from the time in queue column, you can see that all the figures we have here are above 500. So this is where a lot of people have to wait for more than 8 hours and so on. But we can also limit the results to whatever number we want. So I want to limit it to 10. I want to limit it to 10, and then let's execute and see if we have the 10. Boom. So here we have 10 records over here showing us those places where you have to queue, or 10 of the places where you have to queue for more than 8 hours before you are able to access a particular source of water. So let's go on. It actually doesn't end there. There is something else in the slide we have to look at. So in order for us to see these some of the source ID of or what type of water the people are accessing, 3 of these source IDs have been picked. 3 source IDs have been picked. So I will just copy these 3 and then send it to my workbench. Now if you go down here, it's also asking that without using the where filter, we should look for those ones that have 0 minutes queue time and then also select 2. So you can choose to select other source IDs rather than the 3 over here, and then go ahead to select another 2 that have 0 queue time rather than what is over here. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I want to pick the exact figures and work with them. So let's go into my workbench. So you know already that once you execute this code, you are able to get at least 10 of the water sources that you may have to wait for more than 8 hours before you access them. So 3 of the source IDs over here have been picked. You can see them down here. So I've written them down. So I say greater than 500. We are picking 3 of them, which are already in the slide. Then equal to 0. I'm picking 2 of them. So that one is also here. I've copied and pasted those exact source IDs. Now we are supposed to write a code to find out these source IDs. But how do you get the ones that has the 0? The command is that if you want to choose your own independent figures, the command is that you remove the filter that you put over here. Oh shit. Sorry, let me go down here. It's under number 3. So you have to remove the filter over here. This is the filter. When you remove the filter here and you execute this code, you could see that some of the time in Q is 0. So you can select any of these ones that have the time in Q as 0 to work with. But I am just repeating or picking the ones that are in the slide for the purposes of this particular tutorial. So now I want to look for this one. So I say select all from. Now we are referring to the water source table, which contains the, if you look at this, is the water source table. It has a source ID. It also has type of water and then a number of people that are served. So that is where I want to fetch that record from. So let's go and see. You see where you have these particular IDs. So I've referred to those IDs. Let's see when we execute the code, what is it going to give us? So this is it. You can see that we have the exact same code here. Let's go to the slides and see if those ones are is exactly what we have. So you can see from here, I think about 2 were added, which they have acknowledged over here that 2 were added to the 5 that were originally mentioned. So you could see that we are actually in the right, because we restricted to 5 and these are the 5 exactly. So that kind of brings us to the end of the question number 3. Let me be sure of that. Sure. So the next video I'm moving to the question number 4, and then we also do justice to that. Thank you so much for staying with me.